Hello and welcome to another Ghost War video, and this is the second video of my series in which I'm going to showcase all classes and give you some useful tips and tricks. And today we're going to deal with the classes in the Marksman category, and those are the Sniper, the Ranger, the Enforcer, and last but not least, the Sentinel. But before we go into the specific classes, let's have a look on the perks, because there's again one particular perk that you want to pick, and this is Mirrored Mark. However, there is one situation in which severe wounds can definitely be the better perk, and this is when the opposite team doesn't have a medic. So you basically have to switch between those two perks whenever you play a marksman, and then you're fine, and you can perfectly neglect Ghost Sense because this perk doesn't really give you a real advantage. Now the first class we're going to have a look at today is the Sniper. Basically you got two options when you want to snipe people. You can either play as a Sniper or as a Sentinel. When you play as a Sniper you start off with an SR1, and I recommend to upgrade it to an MSR. The MSR has less ammo capacity, it also has a longer reload time, but it is more accurate and definitely does more damage than the SR1 does. You can also get additional guns or variants when you buy the Sniper package. I recommend not to do this. And you also have mines, and this is your big advantage as the Sniper, especially when you compare the Sniper to the Sentinel. I also think that as a Sniper you have a little bit more health than other classes, so keep that in mind. And what you really need as a Sniper is proper aim, so it's definitely not a good class for everyone. And I recommend to have a look at the Sentinel because this might be the class for you. I personally prefer it over the Sniper. However, you can use the Sniper on almost every map, maybe not on Lumber Mill. He doesn't require a lot of communication, so when you're lone wolf and your aim is good, choose the Sniper. Again, there is this Ghost pack available for 1,500 credits. I personally see not a reason to get it. Up next we got the Ranger, and the Ranger is advertised as the jack of all trades, and this is really what he is, because he has a weapon for long range and he has a weapon for short and medium range. The weapon for long range is the MK14, which can be pretty deadly, and for short range he has a PSG. You can upgrade this to an SASG12. I recommend not to do it. Personally, I think this is not very useful. He also comes with 2 grenades and 2 flash grenades, so he lacks of useful explosives. The Ranger is good for you when you can't really decide how you want to play, aggressively or if you want to stay back. So the Ranger allows you to stay flexible and to adapt to the situation you're in. And it's pretty good on larger maps or more complicated maps, for example Mountain Village or the Coca Farm, maybe even Dusttown. The Ranger is actually a decent class, especially when you get used to it and when you get used to the MK14, which can be a pretty deadly weapon. Now, the downside is that the ammo is pretty limited for the Ranger, but then again, you get a very useful submachine gun, the PSG, for close quarter combat. Now, you should choose the Ranger when you are a more experienced player, a little bit advanced in Ghost War. It's certainly not good for noobs. It's something you really have to learn and you have to feel and you have to be good at. Otherwise, you just steal that class from someone who's maybe more skilled than you. And keep in mind, you really want to kill with this MK14. It can be pretty deadly and you don't want to miss a shot. Next class is the Enforcer, and the Enforcer is my least favorite class in the Marksman category. And actually, it shouldn't be in the Marksman category, because if any, then the Enforcer is maybe a counter Marksman. But he's not a Marksman himself, he's more of an assault type of operator, and pretty much the weaker version of a tank. So you got 800 bullets in your MK48, but you probably don't hit a single shot with it. And pretty much all you can do is suppress your enemies. So this only makes sense when you play against a lot of other marksmen. In this case, maybe the Enforcer is a good choice, or when you play in a team that likes to rush and you have 2 other assault players and maybe a scout. But besides that, I don't really see a use for the Enforcer. Again, it's the weaker version of the tank, and it can only be used as a counter sniper when you really have a very good sniper on the opposite team and you have to do something about it. But this is barely the case, at least in my experience. Maybe it was a bit more useful with thermal vision, but now the Enforcer is a pretty weak class. It's neither good in an organized team nor for a lone wolf. I can't really recommend it. Maybe, again, it is an option on Lumber Mill if you really want to rush and play it quick, but aside from that, there's not much use for the Enforcer. Now, the last class today is probably my favorite class in the Marksman category. It is the Sentinel, and the Sentinel comes with a Dragunov, which is a decent sniper rifle. You can upgrade it to an SR-25. Personally, I do not like to do this. Of course, I play the Sentinel with Mirrormark, and the disadvantage is that the Sentinel has only 2 C4 instead of 2 mines when you compare him to the sniper. But his big advantage, however, is that he has this SATCOM tracker. So what you want to do as a Sentinel is basically you want to mark an area, a location where enemies typically go to, like in this occasion on Desert Outpost. It is, of course, the sniper tower and the building in the town. And then you want to spot those locations, and once an enemy is actually going inside the radius, you want to take him out as soon as you can. Now, the Dragunov is comparable to the Marksman rifle in GTA Online. It is a decent sniper rifle. It has quite a huge recoil. You got to get used to this, but personally I prefer the Sentinel over the sniper. It gives you much more options, especially with the SATCOM tracker. What you have to know about the SATCOM tracker, however, is that it can be bugged sometimes. Hopefully Ubisoft fixes this in the future. It's really annoying. You can get stuck on that SATCOM tracker and you're not able to choose a weapon anymore. They definitely have to patch that. But overall, the Sentinel is definitely a very good option in the Marksman category, definitely on long range. He can be pretty much used on every map, on Quarry, on Desert Outpost, on the Coca Farm, on Dusttown, on Mountain Village, and maybe even on Deforestation, on Pilgrim Retreat and Lumber Mill. Pretty much every map can be used as a Sentinel. So this is overall definitely a good class. Now, this wasn't really it, because I have to stand corrected on some mistake that I made in the first video. I said you can upgrade the tech with a shotgun. This is of course not true. The second primary weapon is an MK17, which is a single shot assault rifle, and if you like that, then definitely upgrade the tech. This was it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you in the next video about the support classes.